guys, it's Saria. Today I'm going to show you how to make these Ariel inspired Mickey ears. This is video number 2 in our Mickey ear DIY series. Why did I say it like that? Ariel is my favorite Disney princess, and I was so excited to make these for our Disney World trip that we went on this past spring break. So now I'm going to show you how to make them. If you haven't already, please subscribe because I post DIY videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and also ring that little notification bell so that you're notified every time the new video goes up. If you do recreate these, and even more so if you wear these in Disney, please tag me on social media at DreamItDIY. Without further ado, let's get into the video. As always, let's start with supplies. You'll need a foam poster board, purple felt and green glitter felt. I found this in the felt section. It's not technically felt. You can use that for the no-sew method, or if you are okay with sewing, you can use this type of confetti green fabric. In the description below, I've provided a template for the Mickey ears. You will need to cut out all 3 of those templates to do this. You will also need an X-Acto knife, a tiny Dinglehopper, scissors, a 1-inch headband, ribbon, pearl accent, hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, craft foam preferably green, something to write with, and a seashell template that is about 4 inches in size. Start out by taking your seashell template and placing it down on your poster board. I like to trace mine with a pen because I can actually press the pen down into the poster board and create kind of an indent. This makes it a lot easier to cut out with the X-Acto knife than just simply tracing it. Then take your X-Acto knife and you're going to kind of do this chiseling effect on it where you pull the X-Acto knife in and out. It works a lot more efficiently than just trying to press the X-Acto knife and trace the line, especially along the curves. So again, just go in and out in kind of a chiseling effect with the X-Acto knife. Next, I like to pick up my poster board, and to get that last little seam ripped through, I press my X-Acto knife through. Be really careful on this, and please be safe not to cut yourself. Then you're going to take your poster board piece and trace 2 seashells onto your purple felt, and then cut out the felt seashells. Take your poster board piece and apply hot glue. And then you're going to take your first felt seashell cover and press it on. Make sure you really smooth out the glue so that you can't see it creating a line around your seashell. Then do the back. And as you can see, you end up with the side being viewable, like it's still black. So I cut a really, really thin piece of my purple felt. And then I take my seashell and apply glue along the edge of it. And then I take that thin piece of felt and press it down on the glue. I realize this is not going to look super nice and neat right now, but I promise it does all come together. Once you add on the pearl accents and everything, it looks really, really pretty. So I'm just applying more glue and going along the side of the seashell. I'm having a lot of trouble saying seashell during this video. And then just finish up the edges. Okay, so I realize the pearls are already on, but it's because I probably should have done this part first. So you need to create a curve on the bottom of your seashell so that it adheres to your headband better. This does not need to be an exact science, just create a slight curve on the bottom so that it's not just a straight line across. I was able to cut through these pearls and do it that way, but I do think it would have been much easier if I had done this first. Alright, so now for the pearls. I've already connected some of them so that you can see exactly what I'm trying to do. So I measure from the curve down to the bottom of the seashell, and then I cut the bead strand so that I'm only working with a small piece of strand. It makes it a lot easier to control where you're gluing down. I place glue on the top of the curve, and then I take my hot glue gun and do the line connecting down to the bottom. And then I gently press the beads in. Be careful not to use too much hot glue because you don't want it oozing out everywhere because you will see it and it won't look very nice. And then I just continue to do this, measuring out the bead strands and then starting on the curve, gluing it down and continuing. Now for the centerpiece, this is a little bit different. You're going to want to stretch your strand to the top do the glue on the curve and then curve it around and connect it. But as you can see, this is one solid piece. It's not like the others where it's like a half curve, almost like a question mark. So after you do that curve, then go down straight with one of the lines. Again, not using too much hot glue. And then do the other side. And press down the beads. So I've got a little bit of extra here, no problem, just clip it off, problem solved. Alright, now I'm going to take my craft foam and I'm going to trace the batting or the foam template. And I trace two because I'm going to go ahead and cut them out now, and then I will be hot gluing them together. This creates a much more firm ear for the other side of the headband. If you only use one piece, it's really, really flimsy. By the way, the reason that I'm using white craft foam instead of the green craft foam from the beginning is because I couldn't find it. It literally just disappeared. Okay, so if you are wanting to sew your green ear, go ahead and take your fabric and take your ear cutting line template and trace 2 ears on your fabric. If you're wanting to do the no-sew version, go ahead and skip this part. So now you're going to cut out your 2 ears. After you've cut them out, place your ears down on the table, right sides together so that you're looking at the back of the fabric, and place down your ear sewing line template. And trace that on your ear. This is going to be your guideline for stitching this ear together. By the way, I did do a previous video where I showed you how to hand sew. In this video, I'll only be using the sewing machine, so if you'd like to see that, I'll have it in the description below. Go ahead and pin those 2 ears together so that they don't slip while you're sewing, and go to your sewing machine and stitch away. Follow that line, and when you get to the end, make sure that you back stitch. Now that I have my ear, I turned it right side out, and I'm taking that foam piece and sliding it inside of the ear to give it its nice shape. For the no-sew version, you're going to use the ear cutting line template on your poster board and trace out 1 ear. Make sure you press down really firmly on the poster board, and then you'll go in with your X-Acto knife and use that chiseling motion to cut it out. That really helps along those curves to speed up this process. I'm taking that, I'm just going to call it felt, the glitter felt that I have, and I'm tracing a poster ear on it. If you're going to do this method, don't use the craft foam, use the poster ear because it's a lot sturdier and it'll hold this up really nicely. You'll also be able to hot glue this on there really easily. So now that I've traced it, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it, and I'm going to trim off any excess on the top. And then go ahead and do the other side, but as you can see, I've got this black side that's viewable and not very pretty, so I'm going to take these little green rhinestones and glue those on. Next, we're going to move on to the headband. If you're wanting to cover your headband in fabric, you can check out my first ear tutorial and I show you how to do that. Now for headband placement. I like to place my ears about 2.5 inches apart. I find it the most flattering, and then I take a pen and I mark the edge of one ear, put hot glue on the ear, and firmly press it to the headband. I'm just marking my spot for the second ear using a dot of hot glue. Because this headband was so dark, I couldn't see the pen marks very easily. And then again, firmly press the ear to the headband. And now both ears are nicely connected. So now for the ribbon. Cut a 10-inch piece of ribbon and then a second piece of ribbon the same size. Now you're going to take your ribbon and put 2 or 3 drops of hot glue and create like a circle, a loop. And now that you've created almost like a little ribbon bracelet, you're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the second piece of ribbon. Apply a couple drops of hot glue, press them together. Now pinch your bow to create that shape, and then apply a drop of hot glue in the center for the first ribbon and the second ribbon. Now that you have 2 shaped bows, you're going to put them together, place a dot of hot glue on the bottom, and using a thin strip of the same ribbon, wrap it around the center to create a stronger and firmer bow. Now that you have your bow, apply hot glue to the bottom and firmly press it to your headband. Don't use too much because you don't want hot glue oozing out where you can see it, but enough to where it's secure. And now take your tiny dingle hopper and just wiggle it into that center bow piece. And now you have your own pair of custom, beautiful aerial ears. That's it for this tutorial. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. See you next time.